to my channel. Yes, I have new hair. I really like it. This is actually like a synthetic wig. I will link it down below. I did a lot to this hair. A lot. It did not look like this out of the pack, and I know like I could do way better, but this is my first time really trying to slay a wig, so please don't come for me. Like, I know it can be way better, so like please don't come for me. I'm new to the like hair game. This video is gonna be my TBR for this month. Not really for this month, because I don't really limit myself to the month because I'm such a busy person, and I always never have time to sit down and read a book, if I'm being 100% honest. So this time around, I picked up books that I know I could read quickly, that I know won't take me like a bunch of time to get through. Every time I go looking for a book, I don't really have books in mind, but in the back of my head, I have books that I've heard about before, books that I always want to read but didn't get my hands on. I have different types of books that I want to read at that moment, different worlds I want to go into. That's basically how I look for books. So my TBR is going to be all over the place, all different types of books. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm just going to show you guys the books that I'm currently reading and plan to read for this time of year. The first book I picked up is this James Patterson bookshot. This is just a series of books that he made with different authors, and they came together and basically made short stories, not short stories, but short books called the bookshot. Something you can read in probably like one sitting, depending on like how much you read and stuff like that. Just really short stories, a little like shot. But yeah, this one was really intriguing because it had Christmas on the front, and it's Christmas time, and like who doesn't love the holidays? And this is also a book set in New York City. The Christmas Mysteries by James Patterson with Richard DeLillo. This book is part of the Luke Moncrief stories, which I'm guessing is a series of stories with this one detective, kind of like the Michael Bennett books I've talked about in like previous TBR, if not my favorite books. It's also from the same author, James Patterson, which is my favorite author of all time. I have a bunch of his books. This book seems to be about a murder that happens on Park Avenue, and a bunch of priceless art goes missing from the murder scene, and so the detective has to like go into the art world or learn some things about the art world to kind of crack the code of the crime. Hopefully this will be a good read and make this into my favorites. Now the next book is The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. This book I actually read in high school in an English class. I think I was in about like 10th grade. I just remember this story touching me in a bunch of different ways, and me kind of really identifying with the character. Now the character's name is Esperanza, and she's just a young girl growing up in like really harsh circumstances, and it kind of follows the life. I think I remember like her and like a little group of her friends like in her neighborhood and things happening, and I think something really bad happens to her. I don't remember the story exactly. Basically it follows this little girl growing up in a very hard part of town and basically becoming a woman, coming into her womanhood, and the relationship with her, and I think she had a sister and her mom and things like that. But yeah, this book is very popular. If you guys have read it, definitely tell me what you think about it in the comments below. I just wanted to read it because I just remember crying in class because of what happened. The next book is The Alchemist. Now, I've heard so much about this book. How many people have you heard about this book? If you heard about this book, give me a comment below. Tell me if you read it or not, because I've heard a lot about this book. But yeah, this is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably not saying that right, but this book seems to be a story about a man that is on a journey to find a treasure in like near the pyramids in Egypt, and he meets a gypsy woman, and something life-changing happens, or some type of like awakening or enlightenment, something like that happens. I don't know because I haven't read the book, But a lot of people say this book is very inspiring and inspirational. Hopefully it is one of those like groundbreaking books that can teach me a lot about life, but also take me into a different world. The next book I picked up is Spilling Ink, A Writer's Handbook by Anne Marzer and Ellen Potter. Of course I picked up because I am a young writer. If you guys don't know, I am currently writing my first novel, and that is where my heart is. Like, that is my passion. My passion is to write, and is to write books. I picked this up because I feel like you can never stop learning. I feel like, yeah, and a lot of people have a big debate in like the arts, whether you need to go to school for arts or if you don't. But I feel like you can always learn. You can learn from life, you can learn from teachers, you can learn from books, you can learn in many different ways. Like, I'm always looking for advice, for new ideas, for, you know, helping to get better with my writing. This one seemed a little bit more interesting though. It didn't seem like one of those boring texts about like, this is how you write a book, grammar, this, that, plot. Like, it didn't seem boring like that. Like, it seemed, even the cover, like, it seemed very funky, very like non-traditional. Some of the chapters are ugly first drafts, inspiration, convincing your characters that they are alive, naming your characters, blackberries, raspberries, and story ideas. Now we get to the weird stuff, the plot. Hopefully this will help me out. I'll let you guys know, and if it does, I'll end up buying this book and actually keeping it and probably giving it to other young writers and trying to help them out. If it does help me, I'll definitely talk about it. It'll definitely pop up back up on my channel. The next book is a book that I actually bought. Like, the other books that I talked about, I got from the library. I think I said this in my last video, but like my last TBR, but like, I promise you, buy your books. Even if you buy the book and you don't like it, you can still sell it. Whether it's like, books aren't a thing about like, if it's pre-owned, it'll lose value. Totally respect the whole library, especially because some people cannot afford to buy books. So it is a great system. If you can afford to buy the book, you should, because I'm a person, I've probably gave like $100 in library fees because I don't always get to take the book back the time I'm supposed to. And it ends up being a lot of money, especially when you check out a bunch of books. So definitely make sure you're on top of that if you are going to the library. This is Charlemagne the God's Shook One, Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me. And this book, I have loved this book so far. I'm halfway through it already. I'm at like page 111. This is a great read for I would suggest this for anyone, but especially for young black men in America or young black people in America. I would suggest this book, or anybody that's going through any type of mental problems or just mental illness. I really liked Charlemagne's first book. It had a very controversial title, Black Privilege, when people were like, what is Black privilege? There was a lot of controversy around that book, but when you read it, you kind of understood what he was saying, and it was kind of like his life story, and you get to understand him as a person. You know, you get to see inside of the mind of a black man in America. Go through life, you learn, and you tell others, and you try to help others with what you've learned through your life experiences. And that's what I feel like he's doing through these novels. This is a book, Charlemagne's telling his experiences when he had anxiety attacks, and like him trying to find out what triggered it, and when he notices what triggered it, how to stop it. It's just like if you was sitting down with him having a real conversation. It's not put in a way that's like a self-help book or that's like a tell-all book. Like, it's literally like you just having a conversation with him, and he's telling you not only things that happen, but what he was thinking in the moment. And it shows that sometimes we go through things in life, and sometimes we're going through certain situations, and we have certain thoughts, and you kind of think you're crazy, but this shows that you're not crazy. Everyone has those thoughts, that you're not alone, that there is a way out, that there are better days. I don't have the physical copy of Black Privilege, but I will buy that one, and I will be rereading this to write down notes, because there is a lot of information in this book, as well as like information about mental health, because the book, he kind of has clinical correlation with the psychiatrist basically analyzing the situations that Charlemagne is explaining and going through, and basically really telling you like the medical terms and analysis for what is going on. That's pretty much it for this TBR. I will definitely keep you guys updated. Comment below what books you're reading right now, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.